Hello and welcome everyone to the radial wheel menu system tutorial and overview. We're going to start here with the tutorial and then get on with the overview. I'll have timestamps in the description below. To start, it is as easy as 3 steps, and that is if you don't have third-person character as your default. If you have third-person character as your default, then you are in luck. It is automatically set up so long as you have the right controller configuration, which is the first step. So step 1, open up any controller. I have a demo controller right here. You're going to go to add component and you're going to type BPC RadialMenu. You'll see it right there. And we're going to go ahead and just add that to our project. You can then go into the event graph and add radial wheels menu, open menu, and close menu functions to the buttons below. I have it set to 1 on the keyboard and the top facing button on the gamepad, which I believe is the Y button if you're using an Xbox controller, and triangle if you're using a PlayStation controller. That is step 1. If you have third person, then you're already done. If you don't have third person character, then we're going to go ahead and open the radial wheel menu, which can be found in component under the radial menu system. Sorry. Once we open up this component, we're going to go to the event begin play, and we're going to go to the character call and just change this to whatever character type you're using. Now the third and final step is just making sure your functions work. In my default third person character here, we have not there, demo character, third person, blueprints, there we are. Alright, yours is going to be different, but to any character you're playing, you're basically just going to have custom events for what you want. I just had them labeled here, top right ability, top left ability, bottom right, yada yada, right? And they're just going to print out a string, but this is going through the character. And that is it. You just want to set these buttons to the functions you want. This could be anything. It could be selecting weapons, it could be doing an emote wheel, like you're doing like a social game like Fortnite. That is entirely up to you. And with that out of the way, setup is done. We are now in what does this plugin do, essentially. The overview half of things. Well, if we jump back to the controller real quick that we added this blueprint component, we have BPC RadialMenu. You could go ahead and click on that, and you'll have 2 tabs, customizing and personalizing, which is pretty much one and the same. Personalizing has all the text, so what text you want in the button circles. You got your top left item, your top middle, your top right, etc., and then the center text, the default. I just have it marked as center. You can type whatever you want. No item selected. Anything. You could just leave it blank too. It doesn't matter. And then over here we have customizing. You have your slow mode, which is when the menu is activated, a slow mode will be called. This will be distorting the time. I notice in a lot of great games that would use a radial wheel in like Doomer shooters, like Doom 2016 and 2020 in particular, would slow down time. So I kind of just got that from there. I think 0.5 is perfect, that's half time, but if you don't want it, 1 is full time, so just as fast as normal, and 0 is frozen time, like complete pause. I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. Okay, let's go back. All right, 0.5. Auto select is if you want it to auto select whatever you're hovering over, or if you'd rather have a button clicked, it's off by default. Controller preference, this is just for the gamepad specifically. If you want the right stick or left stick to control the direction that you're using on the menu. Mouse sensitivity you could ignore. True radial mode is what's on by default, and it's the truest radial mode. This actually has auto select force because that's usually how it goes. Hover and clicked is specifically if you want to hover your mouse over the buttons and then press down on the left key. This is where that auto select feature toggled is kind of used on and off. It's like you could either just have it hovered, or you could make sure that you only want it when the player presses the button. I personally prefer true radial mode, but that's up to you. And then we have wheel style. We have wheel corner style, paintbrush style, and custom texture style. So wheel style, if I go ahead, or actually no, we'll get into all of these in a second. You'll see them in the overview, but basically you just select what you want. Wheel style is just your default white with black outline wheel. Paintbrush kind of gives like this little bubble paintbrush style. It kind of reminds me close to like Sekiro or something like that. And then custom texture style will utilize these two textures, and you could go ahead and insert anything you want. Then we have on the final customization thing a hover sound, and I have some basic UI sounds. I included UI 1 through 4, and you could use those if you want or implement your own sound. It really is up to you, of course. Covering the custom textures, I inserted a little folder here under RadialMenu System, Textures, Bonus Textures, with a couple cute little things I whipped up, like a sci-fi texture here in Photoshop, and you know, like a bubble sphere if you're doing like a cartoony. This is like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom style. That's what I kind of was like thinking when making these. And then we have some grunge splats, you know, paint splatter style, if you want a more grunge-esque looking user interface. But you know, you're probably going to have your own. Mine aren't the greatest things in the world, obviously, but they're there. I'm just going to keep splat default and splat hovered. This is your hovered texture and your default texture. That should be self-explanatory. And let's set it to, at default, a 5-piece wheel for now. Yeah, this is where you get a select. I think I skipped that, didn't I? Yeah, my eyes are horrible. Sorry about that. You have 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece, and 6-piece wheel. That's what we support here for the widgets. And the component will handle all the rest. It's incredibly lightweight, as I'm able to run this in 120 FPS just fine, which is my max setting anyways. I can't run anything faster than that, even at default. And let's just go ahead and hit play. I'm just going to show you guys the basic features. So from what we have a 5-set true radial mode wheel with the splatter textures enabled. And you could go ahead, I could hit top left, it'll say top left, top right, bottom left, and middle. And I have these little things in the overview world where you could just swap. I could set it to wheel style, that's what the wheel style would look like. And the painted style, again, that Sekiro-esque look. And we're going to go back to custom textures, and we have 6-piece, 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece wheels. Again, that's with that slow-mo. You can see that half time that I'm putting. And we could go ahead and we could do wheel mode. That's 5, because that was the last one we hit. 4, 3, 2, that's just a little 2-1, and it's 6 again. And yeah, that's pretty much that. That's the plugin. That's how you use it. That's a little overview. You could use this for literally anything you want. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep it back to its defaults. I think I had a wheel corner, 4-piece, true radial mode, right stick, auto select. But yeah, have fun, and there should be a Discord link in the description below in the case that you need any form of support. I am available at almost any time. I have no life. All right, have a wonderful day.